What is up, Redskin fans? This is JD coming at you. Hail to the Redskins. This is my draft review for the 2018 Redskins draft. I will say altogether, I think it was a pretty good draft. I'll give a grade for everything here in a minute. First, I want to go over what I said we were going to get, and then compare that to what they actually got. So, without further ado, here we go. What I said we would get is, first round, we get a defensive tackle when I chose Vita Vea. Okay? What the Redskins actually got was a defensive tackle named Daron Payne, which actually, honestly, in my opinion, I thought it was like 1A was Vita Vea, 1AB was Daron Payne. So I give that pick an A+. I mean, a lot of the analysts gave him like a B, only because they don't know if he can rush the passer. But he can definitely stop the run, which is what the Redskins needed. Okay, there was significant need to stop the run, and I think they made a big upgrade. I mean, the run game wasn't horrible last year because until we got injured. Okay, so the Redskins had a decent run game last year, and you just adding someone like that to help stop the run, I think we're just going to be a tough team to beat when it comes to getting running on us. So the second pick, now in my mock draft, I traded back twice and ended up getting the 28th pick in the second round and going with Rashard Penny. Okay? The Redskins in real life actually traded back one time and got Darius Geis. I thought that was a good pickup. I wanted Rashard Penny, but never. For all we know, they would have picked him if he was available. So my projection could have been correct. Same with Vita Vea. But Darius Geis is a good running back. He runs so hard. He runs like Marshawn Lynch, and I don't like Marshawn Lynch, but I like his running style. And he's not too big. I've always had an issue because the Redskins seem to like to draft big running backs, and big running backs don't last because they're too tall, and they like to take a beating. But this guy's like 5'10", 230, solid running back, big running back. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited to see how this plays out. I think he's a running back of the future. I think he starts day one. Now, in my draft, I traded down twice. That gave me 2 third-round picks. The first third-round pick I got was a corner. Okay, because I think we needed a corner, so I got a corner from LSU. Now, real life Redskin, and then the next third-round pick I got was Geron Christian, offensive tackle from Louisville. Well, wouldn't you know it, if the third-round pick we picked up from 49ers that we traded with, we got Geron Christian. Okay? So we got Geron Christian. So far, I mean, it's not 100% to the letter, but it's pretty darn close to what I was going with when it comes to drafting. Okay? The next pick that I had, we had a 4th-round pick, and I went with an offensive guard. Wyatt Teller, offensive guard from Virginia Tech. But the Redskins decided to go a different direction. We still needed a safety. I mean, in my draft, I do draft a safety. We drafted safety Troy Apke. Okay, very talented. A little bit of rough around the edges. We still need to, he'll be a project. But I do think he'll start day one at least at punt return and kick return. Okay, he definitely has the speed to do those things. So I think he can make an impact day one. The question is, will he develop into an actual safety, or will he, just be a special teams guy? Because I think Swearinger will be around for a while, but the way the Redskins get injured, it's not a dumb idea to get extra guys. So, could he develop into something special? Yes, I do believe he can. The 5th pick, in the 5th round, I had 2 5th-rounders because I traded back. I drafted first was Van Smith, free safety from Clemson. Okay. Then I drafted Alan Lazard. He was a wide receiver from Iowa State. Now, I'm not mad about what we did here. The Redskins had this guy very high on their draft board, Tim Settle, and he happened to be available. It makes sense to me. They grabbed him with the only 5th-round pick that they had, so I'm not upset about it. Okay, we still got a safety. Okay, we still got a safety, and we're still get a wide receiver. We'll get that later in the draft. 6th round, we drafted a linebacker out of Alabama, Sean Dion Hamilton. Okay, what I went with was Augie Sanchez, inside linebacker from South Florida. I think it's a wash. Augie Sanchez was on an undefeated team, but Alabama produces really good players, and he was injured most of last season, so he'll be a project guy. Okay, so not exactly off on those picks. I mean, those pretty in my mind it's the same thing. Now, last two picks are very different, mainly because I picked up these two things early in the draft because I traded back twice. But the Redskins got a cornerback, Greg Stroman, and the Redskins drafted wide receiver, Trey Quinn. I drafted a center and a tight end. It doesn't really matter who I drafted. What matters, here's what I want to go over. We needed a defensive tackle, running back, cornerback, offensive tackle, free safety, wide receiver, inside linebacker. Okay? I have all those things in my draft. What did the Redskins go get? Defensive tackle, running back, offensive tackle, safety, linebacker, cornerback, wide receiver. All the same things that I drafted. Okay? Not exactly to the letter that I drafted, but what we got I'm happy with. And not to mention, and I'm not going to bring it up. Actually, you know what? I'll look and see if I can get it up here in like 2 minutes. If I can bring up their undrafted free agents. Apparently we got a couple good ones. That's what I've been hearing. So we've got a handful of apparently we got a very good amount of undrafted free agents. So, not trying to toot my own horn, but I do think it's pretty awesome that I was right in line with what I thought the Redskins needed and when they needed it for the most part. Because here's the way I look at this. And I don't know what the analysts are smoking, but analysts gave our draft grade like a B, B minus. I mean, what the heck are you guys smoking? How do you go into... We just had a season where we were last in the league in rushing defense, because we didn't have a good running back, or good rush defense. We didn't have a defensive tackle and we got so many injuries. We didn't have a good running game. Okay? We didn't have... we had a lot of offensive line injuries. And again, we needed depth on the defensive line, and we needed to get like another receiver. Okay? So I'm not sure what these people are smoking that do these analysis, because we need a defensive tackle. We got Daron Payne. He's the best run stopper in the draft. Okay, Vita Vea was the best combination of both. Daron Payne, we don't know if he can rush the pass. I think he can. We'll find out. We need a running back. Darius Geis is probably one, if not second best running back in the league for sure. One of the best running backs in the league. Okay? We need an offensive tackle, John Christian. I mean, he could easily step in. Those three guys could start day one. They could easily start day one. That's my point with this. Is the Washington Redskins easily have 3 starters right there in the first 3 rounds. And then you add in Troy Apke, he's going to start on special teams. He's going to start, there's 4 starters. Okay? If you look further down the list here, Tim Settle, he'll definitely get rotation minutes. The Redskins have a lot of defensive linemen right now. They're going to rotate 6, 7 guys on the defensive line. And he'll get minutes. He'll get minutes. He definitely has good ability. Okay? Sean Dion, I don't think he'll get anything. Won't get any a lot of playing time or anything. And number 7, Greg Stroma. I mean, we don't really need. We didn't need it. We're not going to start a 7th round corner. And then number 7, Trey Quinn. Trey Quinn, I actually think might actually end up playing this year. And the reason why I think that is because if you look at his numbers in college, like he was. I think he led the FCC in catches, if I believe so. So yeah, he's a 6-foot receiver. He's not big. He's short. In a lot of actually the first thing came up. A lot of people think that he'll actually make the roster. He's a good receiver. He can be our Wes Welker or our Amendola or Julian Edelman or whatever. If we use him properly, he can totally do that. I think that's not something that's that's not beyond the pale. That can totally be done. So we have so many players this year in the draft that could impact the team this year alone, and then going forward, we have a lot of guys that can develop. Troy Apke's just going to get better. Okay, Sean Dion Hamilton is only going to get better when he gets healthy. Greg Stroma can get better. He's easily going to get better. Okay, so it's not something that I think it's something that we just going forward we can look forward to, and not very rarely do you get in 1 year can you get 5, 6 impact players in one draft that can take an impact this year. Okay, I get it. Sometimes you draft guys and they don't pan out for like 5 years, maybe. Okay, but that's just what happens. And then here's our undrafted free agency look. So apparently, Virginia safety Quinn Blanding. Apparently, he was ranked very high. It's just kind of a shock that he went undrafted. Indiana wide receiver Simi Cobbs. So those, according to a lot of people, I don't know how true this is. Those are the two best undrafted free agents out there. So that might be a good fit for might be beneficial to us to have those guys. Now there's also a bunch of other guys here that don't really having Marshall linebacker. We haven't. I'm not gonna go over all these guys. There's like a dozen of them. Maybe the Pittsburgh tight end Matt Flanagan. That's the only one I think is going to be super interesting to me because we might need depth at the tight end spot. You never know with Jordan Reed. He just gets healthy. He gets hurt every year, so there's no reliability when it comes to him. Iowa State cornerback Macarnero Alexander, wide receiver Cam Sims from Alabama, and Iowa running back James Butler. So there's a lot of things that we capitalize on in this draft. We got guys we needed that could play now. We got guys that we can develop in the next 2 or 3 years. And that's what you want out of every draft. You just don't want to get guys to fill like these. All these guys can literally make an impact this year. Okay, most of these guys can make an impact this year, and I think that's what's the most important part about any draft. If you're strictly just drafting for the future, I mean, you're never going to develop your team now. And not saying the Redskins have bad development, but you can't always trust the development process. You don't know how people pan out. So you need to go with the best talent now, because what if what they are, the sum of their parts is what they are now? That's what you got to look at when you're drafting somebody. So, yeah, and then back to this last part. I just don't know what they're smoking. We have a team that we had needs that we needed. What were the biggest flaws with the Redskins last year? Run defense, running the ball, offensive line, maybe a wide receiver. Okay? And depth up front. Those are the 4 things we had an issue with. We got a defensive lineman that can stop the run. Bingo. Good. Got that. Okay? We got depth at that because we got 2 guys that can do that same job. We got an offensive tackle because we need to get a little bit more depth on the offensive line. Excuse me. And we got a franchise running back right out of the draft, right in the 2nd round. So I don't know where all this comes from. I think it's just Redskins hate. It's just all it is. But I don't know what the analysts are smoking. I really don't, because there's definitely potential here that we can get a lot of players that can impact the team right now. And I think that's what the most important part of our draft is that we get a team that impacts and helps the team right now. Okay, so that's what I think is the most important. Actually, the reason why I actually just found an article I'm going to go with right now real quick. It goes over the day 3 of our draft. So day 3 of our draft, first one we drafted was Troy Apke from Penn State. We got a C+ in that draft. Mainly because he's not a fully developed project right now. I think that's probably why. He'll come in and do stuff on special teams the first couple of years until he develops into something else. Virginia Tech. Our 5th round pick, Virginia Tech's Tim Settle. We got an A on this one. So I was bitching about grades, so I'm gonna go ahead and go over these grades real quick. We got an A+ on that. He's gonna add to an already, I think good defensive line. So we got an A on that one. Linebacker Sean Hamilton from Alabama. We got an A- on this one. So he must have pretty good talent. I just never recall watching him play much. I think he was injured most of this year, to be honest with you. Greg Stroman. It might also be a factor of when we draft him as well. So, I mean, I'm curious who's going to be a third starter or a second starting corner. It's either going to be Dunbar or maybe it's going to be one of these young guys. We got Monroe, we got Nicholson. I think one of those is a safety. I'm a little curious about that. We got a B+ on Stroman. Even though it's a 7th round pick, he still has potential to, make the team and be a factor on the team. And Trey Quinn, we got an A- for a 7th round pick. It's kind of crazy. We didn't need another slot receiver because we got Jamison Crowder, but I mean, we can't have too many slot receivers. You can literally have Dotson and Paul Richardson on the outside, put Jamison Crowder and Trey Quinn on the inside, and in either a tight end or a running back, just run 4 wide or 5 wide. It's going to be hard to guard all that. Okay, the guy has proven that he can make separation, get himself open. I don't think we're going to do an air raid offense here, so that might factor his ability, some of his ability. So I guess we'll see about that. But for the most part, we did pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, we did really good about drafting. And then let's see what they gave us for round 1. Round 1 we got an A-. This website is Riggins Rag, Riggo's Rag. Okay, so obviously it's a very biased website. I mean, I'm not upset about that. I like the fact that it's a website about the Redskins, and it's an A on that pick as well. And Christensen we got a B-, and only because there were probably better players we needed, but we took need rather than best player available. So, yeah, I'm not going to be too mad about these grades because it's actually, I think those are the more accurate grades that I would have given those picks. But God, there was we got like a B- on some for drafting Payne, and we got like a B just for drafting Geis. That's just ridiculous to me. I'm sorry. The anti-Redskin out there media is just crazy. But that's my video. Now, after looking at that, I will tell you, after looking at that right there, man, it shows me a lot. I'm trying to find our schedule here. If I went to look at the schedule again, right? If I went to look at our schedule again, which I'm trying to find right now. Yeah, I found it. If I were to look at our schedule, I think I originally had our schedule pegged at 10-6, maybe 11-5 at the most. I'm telling you, after what we just picked up, and we gave some of these teams a pretty hard time last year. Like, for example, Arizona, Colts, I think we started the season at least 2-0. Green Bay, for some reason we have Rodgers' number, and they don't have a strong running game, they never have, and they don't have a strong defense, so I think we're going to beat that game. Last year against the Saints, we did not have any healthy defenders, and we still almost beat that team. We still should have beat that team. Let me rephrase that. We should have beat that team. The Panthers, I think we're going to get revenge on the Panthers. Okay? In our own division, the Dallas Cowboys, I don't see them significantly better. I see us being able to stop the run and putting everything on Dak Prescott. I don't trust Dak Prescott, so I don't think that helps. Now the Giants, they added Saquon Barkley. I don't think Eli Manning is what he's supposed to be, and we beat them once last year with a broken up team. And the second time, it's just Kirk Cousins didn't care to win, so he didn't even really try. And then Atlanta, we could totally beat Atlanta this year. I mean, I don't want to sit here and jinx us. We can literally only lose to. I think we can beat every team. The only team I have the biggest reservations on is the Eagles. Eagles is so stacked. Eagles and maybe Houston and Jaguars. So those are the 3 teams. So we literally, with that draft, could have gone from a 10-6 team to 12-4. That's not unfeasible. We can totally win every one of these games. We almost beat the Eagles last year twice, and we didn't have any of these guys. Okay, we didn't have any of this improvement. So I just hope we put it together when we're supposed to. Jaguars are a tough team, that tough defense. So that's going to be a tough one to beat. Eagles twice. I don't think Titans are anything that can kill us. Buccaneers, I have no faith in the Buccaneers. Houston has a good defense, and their offense really came on strong with Deshaun Watson. Yeah, Deshaun Watson last year. So I'm not afraid of the Dallas Cowboys or the New York Giants. If we just play the right way and we play to our strengths, this schedule, I'm not saying it's a cupcake schedule. That's beyond it. Every NFL team has to play a tough schedule. But we're looking at teams here. A lot of teams didn't make the playoffs last year on our schedule. If you look at Arizona, Colts, Green Bay, Dallas, New York, I think the Panthers didn't make the playoffs. Buccaneers didn't make the playoffs. Houston didn't make the playoffs. So there's 8 non-playoff teams right there, and we got to play 2 of them twice. So 10 games against non-playoff teams from last year. And we have the Eagles, Titans, Jaguars, Atlanta, Saints. That's it. Yeah. So Eagles, Titans, Jaguars, Saints. So I must have miscounted. I must have missed one. Well, So I think, going forward, we did some things to really improve our roster. We did some things to really improve our chances this season of doing better. Of definitely making the playoffs. I don't know if we'll win the division. Eagles just so tough. We'll see. Maybe Nick Foles has a regression. I don't know. We'll see. It's the NFL. Anything can happen. Injuries can happen. We could literally go down and have our whole defensive line go down again. And now we're back to having no defensive line. But that's why we had depth. So if you can take anything positive from last year's defense, a lot of guys got playing time. That's the only thing positive I can take out of it. But my name is JD. This is my video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I do videos like this, I would say at least once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. I'll start doing more as we get closer to the season. I do game breakdowns. I would love to do a game film breakdown. I wish I had the setup to do that. I really do. I really wish I could do that. I just don't have the setup right now. I'm in Philly. All my stuff is not here with me. I have a laptop that I use, and this is a tablet right now that I'm recording on. So I don't exactly have all the stuff I need to make like a real, good, solid film breakdown. But it's something I want to do because, like last year, I want to do about Kirk Cousins to show people that Kirk Cousins is way overrated, and that he has the option to actually make plays, and he decides to make his stats rather than plays. But I'm not gonna get into that. This is my video. Like, share, and subscribe. Message, comment, whatever the case may be. If I get enough comments, I promise I'll do like a comment video, and I'll tag everyone in it. I'll shout out everyone. I'll actually call you out on the video and say, hey, this person asked this question. I'd be more than happy to do that. All right. Take it easy. Hail to the Redskins.